All right, everyone, this is just a super quick extra Synfig tutorial. I realized as I do random work in Synfig, I should probably just grab some videos to show specific techniques. In this case, I'm just going to show how to use the AlphaOver blend mode to kind of like subtract something, that's the wrong word, but hide something when it's going inside or behind something else. So let me just show you what I mean here. So right now, so far, I've sort of animated, it's actually for like a COVID-related project, so it's a swab going into a nose. So this is how it currently looks. Ta-da! Right, so I'm not going to get into how I did that, but the point is right now, my issue is that, you know, the swab goes in the nose, but it's not getting buried in the nostril. It's like the person has a see-through nose, right? So one kind of makeshift way to fix this is I'm going to keep animate mode off while I draw. And basically just on top of the swab layer, I'm going to create a separate layer. I'm going to hit Control B or click my Bezier curve or spline tool here. And I'm sure there's more like fancy ways of doing this, but I'm just going to hand draw with my mouse laptop trackpad here. Oh, I have these off, sorry. Okay. I'm going to basically trace over wherever I want the swab to be hidden. So because, you know, I want it down here, I want you to still see the swab, but once it goes in the nostril and kind of swabs around up here, I don't want to see it. So about there, and so now I have this solid blob, whatever the default settings were for my object. So then I'm going to click on the select tool, which is Alt or Option A, and then I just go down here to blend mode, where it usually defaults to composite, if that's how you have it set, and I just choose AlphaOver. And you can see right now it's actually subtracting from the nose stuff as well, because it's over everything. So what I just have to do now over here, so I'll call this my AlphaOver layer, I just have to group it with the swab only, and call this swab plus alpha. And you notice that what I did not do is put this inside the swab layer, because I use this group, this swab group, as the thing that moves. So if I had put the AlphaOver in there, it would have never overlapped the swab because it would have just moved with the swab. So anyway, it's outside of that in its own grouping. And so now that should be it actually. So when it sticks in there, it's just a touch off because actually the face is rotating. I forgot about that. And it sticks out there. But theoretically, so there's probably a fancier way to do this, but because I'm lazy, I'm just going to kind of animate it until it's right in this case. So yeah, so I just go back in, kind of modify. I'm going to go into animate mode now and just make it so that at all my important would-be keyframes, if I wasn't so lazy I wasn't doing keyframes, you know, that will, basically just every little bit, I'll kind of line it up with that. Let me see. If I look at the face animation, I can see where the kind of the keyframes for the face are, or the big waypoints, and kind of just correlate with that. And so here, maybe here I'll just kind of select all and drag that up a little bit and kind of rotate these, because at that point it doesn't matter. So let's see how I did. Maybe here I'll adjust one more time. Not to be perfect. So you notice here there's an issue with, so I'm going to make sure this is nice and wide. So it's kind of just, so I'm doing a sort of like a very makeshift kind of do it. But yeah, you can see with just a couple of those tweaks now throughout the timeline, because that AlphaOver layer is in the right place along that nostril, that's pretty cool. Very nice. By the way, if you have something where you want like a softer edge, you can, of course, I'm going to turn off animate mode here, you can take your AlphaOver layer and use the feather tool as well. If I want that, you know, if you have something where it's like a shadow or something fuzzy. I'm never good at predicting what the AlphaOver will require, but I'll do just like 100. And you can see here, that's an extreme version, but here now there's a feathering, like a gradual AlphaOver. If I go to like 20, which is nice. Sometimes it just gives you that extra margin of error. In this case, I think actually the sharp looked better, so I'm just going to do 0. But anyway, the feather tool is sometimes something I use along with this AlphaOver technique. Okay, so that was just a quick explanation of that specific technique. Check out my channel for some more general beginner's lessons on Synfig and other art, animation, and education related topics. And I'll catch you next time. See you.